wanting to master this game and just being grateful for the freedoms that this can offer for obviously like traveling and everything. It's about you versus you, or you versus the market, but in reality it's you versus, you have to perfect yourself and you have to compete against yourself. That's how you're going to win at this game.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Next Gen Traders YouTube channel. We are recording this on Sunday, February 6th. As you can see, we have a new very special guest with us in this episode. This is Jay. He's going to introduce himself in just a second. We've got a lot of good open discussion and questions for him. He's going to go over his trading journey as well. And hopefully you guys get a lot of great information out of this episode, and it's going to help us a lot as well. So without further ado, Jay is going to introduce himself really quick. Then we'll go over some trades, and then we'll get into the questions and his slideshow. So Jay, how are you, man?
Hey guys, thank you for having me on. It's nice to see your faces finally. I know we've talked in the chats and whatnot, so it's nice to see you guys.
You too.
But yeah, I'm Jay. I'm 20 years old. I've been trading for about a year and a half now. 95% OTCs, basically 100% OTCs now. It's been a long journey, a lot of ups and downs, and I'll elaborate more on that towards the end here. And yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
Of course, man. Thank you for joining us. This is going to be awesome. So is that all you got for your quick intro, Jay?
Yeah, I think that just about covers it for now. So.
All right, sounds good. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go over how our week went and some of our trades. So I guess I'm going to go first in this portion. So my week, I ended down about 1R, maybe 1.5 max. I haven't even been able to track my trades from the week or anything like that. But I'm going to go over two charts. Allow me to share my screen. Okay, so this is Indo. This was on Tuesday. I was anticipating the first green day here, and I knew it. Let me actually go to the daily chart. Okay, so this was the main day right here. This is, the backside reversal long first green day. So this was the day right here on February 1st. And oh crap, I did this again. I do this all the time. And so, yeah. So I knew exactly what I needed to see. I bought the push through a red to green right here as soon as I saw the liquidity and volume coming in. I sold my first half right here about 497. Sold my second half right here at about 518. So my scales were looking really good. I had another line up here around 535 that I was planning to scale out my final third at, but it never ended up reaching there. I ended up cutting it after it broke, this little low in the 490s right here. So all in all, this was only a 1.9R gain. It would have been like 3.2, but it only ended up being 1.9. But, I'll take what I can get. This was pretty illiquid, pretty choppy and pretty wicky. And, there was nothing else to really report on that. And as you guys can see, the first green day ended up coming on Friday. Don't mind this. This is just, for my own, mental notes and stuff. But so that was Indo. That was my trade on Monday. And then I'm going to go.
Wait, let me see. This was a different trade than you took before, right? You've never taken really a first green day trade, Before.
Not like
yeah.
I've definitely been stalking them a ton, but
it was the one I was
the right one just came along, and I got used to watching them enough, and I'll be a lot more comfortable with these when they come in the future. But obviously with this market, it's been a little tougher to have that follow through actually come in and, not have everything be completely red when you could literally short anywhere and be green. But so that was all for INDO. I'm going to go over my next trade on KSCP. That was on Friday. So I was looking for the first green day here on KSCP. Started off with a big push. As you can see, red to green was down here. I didn't get filled up here in the 930s. I ended up getting filled on the dip right here at 924. Right after I entered, I found out that Mr. Dominic Master Mateo himself was also in this stock during their, little live stock therapy, video stream on Twitch thing with a lot of really, really good traders. That was good, a lot of information. But I found out that he was in this. He kept pretty quiet about it on there too. But as you guys can see, this it went past my risk. I was risking right here at 905. I got a little bit of slippage and it filled me down here at 895. So, this loss ended up being a little bit over 1R, and this is what, made me be, down a little bit over an R on the week. Other than that, I would have been, completely break even. Not great with the opportunities, but this was really wiki in a liquid. I took the loss there, and my main focus. Yeah, what's
One
up?
sec. That day, it was just my guess that he was in Dome.
Oh no, he actually wasn't.
I don't know if he was. He was the day before. The day
He
before.
was. Wait, he was in both days?
No, the day before he traded it. That was during a webinar, but then during the thing, I don't know if he was in. I was just guessing.
No, the webinar was on Friday.
Yeah, I mean the other webinar, the stock therapy webinar when we had on Thursday. That's when he was actually in. So I don't know about the Friday.
He was in. He was in on Friday.
Was it?
Yeah, you didn't see it during the webinar. He was in.
The executions. You saw his executions also.
He didn't share his screen because everyone was talking. It was the one with all the people on it.
Yeah, but that's his screen on the main screen. That was his. Well, oh, yeah.
He wasn't sharing it, but whatever.
Doesn't matter.
That's the point. But my main focus going into next week is I don't want to be so in an anticipatory mindset. I like when things are definitely more liquid. I traded some illiquid stuff this week, which definitely isn't my cup of tea. I don't really feel like that. But focusing on my lines and taking what I can give me and absolutely nailing the front side of the moves on these listed stocks and scalping the backside. That's what I'm going to find my best opportunity. If there's a front side, I'm going to nail it all the way on up, and if there's a backside, then I'm just going to scalp it. So that's the best way that I'm going to start seeing, and we just got to keep my line to line consistency and make the best stock selection I possibly can. But other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. Still working on my new system, and that's about all I got for what I was gonna say. And Josh is gonna go over his trade next.
Yeah, so pretty slow week. I only had one trade. I missed some good opportunities here, but yeah, I'll show my TGGI trade. All right, so just the way the action was yesterday, and the overall daily, it was setting up for a breakout, I thought over 0.0145. So I got in around here because I saw the nice dip buy, and then it was holding VWAP kind of nice, and then I had a class, so I had to sell, so practically break even, and then play just didn't work out too well. So yeah, not much of an eventful week for me. But going into next week, basically, just keep doing the same thing, keep picking my shots, keep the risk at a manageable level, and go for at least 3R every time, and also follow chat room alerts from Alex. No, I'm just kidding, but
love it.
Me, him, and Jay trade the same, as you'll see.
Love it. Alex.
Okay, so now it's my turn. So first I will say that I just posted my monthly recap for January, and in the last episode when we did our big January recap, I forgot to mention about it. So I'll put it in the link in the description of that video and this video. So yeah, I just had to mention this. Overall, this week was very great for me. It was my second best week after last February. So I followed my process very well, and I had those 2-3 trades that I always talk about, that I all need for my week is only the 2-3 trades. So I'm very satisfied with my trading. Apart from trading, you can also remember from last episode I talked about 75 hard. So right now I'm on the 6th day, and I mean it's going pretty good. And it's funny how the first day I started 75 hard, so that was literally like my first week, and now I have my best trading week. So kind of it relates, but yeah, we'll see.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'll go over. I actually took 4 trades this actual week, but one of them was on Monday, which was still January. So I'm gonna only talk about my February trades. So this was my first trade of the week and of the month. This was a ABML. I took this. This was a month-long swing. I took this on the last day of January, then swung it on the first day of February. So I'll just quickly go over the chart. So I mean, this is just my bread and butter. This trigger, like I always say. So
yes, he does.
I waited all day, and here we go. So yeah, I entered here, and I know Josh and Jaybird also entered, but but Jay was in the other stock, so he didn't have like enough cash or something. And then Josh, what happened? Yeah, like
I had a
an
doctor's
appointment.
appointment,
Yeah,
man. I was waiting for it to set up all day, and then I got a notification.
yeah. We saw like we saw it midday, then we waited all day for like the last 20 minutes.
Yeah,
And so that's funny because that was like on January still. That was in January still, and I wanted to have like that 4-hour trade to like end my January green, but obviously market doesn't care about your P&L, so it didn't happen, and I just swung and I got pretty nice sells for 6 hours. So that's how like I started
Beautiful.
the month. Then next
And I
one
was in stupid class. Not that I would have traded it, but I was in class.
Yeah.
So next one was, well, I don't need to talk about this really. It was I guess that's like it's funny because I traded this day and then next day worked, but then I just sold into the close, and I got influenced by other traders. Like I know, like other trader he entered like in the other chat, and my plan was this line, the red green, but I just entered here because I saw other traders, so that kind of like influence, and I just wanted like better entry. So I entered here and then I sold because it was literally like almost at my risk at the close, and then the next day we get this this like 4-hour move, but obviously I didn't do anything, so I don't even think like I don't even regret myself. It was like a $10 loss. And then this last was again on Friday, show on Tuesday. So this was another first green day I played. This was very different from like my style because I don't really like anticipate like that much, because this was like literally, this entry was very, I don't know how to say it, like I just anticipated the first green
yeah,
day.
it was like a lower trigger.
Yeah. So
I
like,
was being a bad influence on Alex here. Especially for screen days. You still like to have triggers that are actually levels on the chart, but a lot of times you're looking for other indicators like ILUS. If you go back to the intradaily, they basically, it's gapped down 3 or 4 days in a row.
yeah,
It hasn't even come close to holding green. And also towards the end of the day, I noticed that it has never really closed strong either. So that whole day, if you go back to that the day we entered, we saw it kind of, it had a really big shakeout in the morning again, started going that a liquid move, trying to go green again. We were both rooting for it to like, no, don't go green.
yeah.
No, we want to reset. And we still had it on watch coming into late day there. And obviously it's not an entry that I'm super comfortable with, but
Yeah,
I also took the same entry there. I don't know if it's worth full size or should have just done a starter, but yeah, we entered as it started closing strong. They were soaking at the end there, which was a
yeah,
little
the
sketchy.
196.
Yeah.
Literally like it was like showing the like 10,000 shares or something, and then like last minute like a huge block print came, like 300,000 print, took him out, and then we had like a nice close. And then
Yeah,
the next day had like a tiny gap, but then he held, and our plan was 22 because that was 4 hour. And then so I'll talk about this part here because so we were thinking about adding, but then I mean if you like zoom in like this, like I don't really know how much I trust this level, like 20, because this was literally like, I mean like if you like one print at the close and then just hold like for 3 candles, so we didn't really trust this, so we didn't add here. But I know other traders, they bought there, so you know
I
you
think-
always
yeah, I think if I personally didn't buy the day before, I think I would have wanted to be
yeah,
off.
same thing, yeah.
I think maybe next time, I think it's worth an ad. Whether I don't think we need to move all of our risk up to red
Yeah,
green there, but
maybe like just add
19.5 with our other
maybe,
side.
or just like risk on the heads, something.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, if we added here with the full size, 22 would have been 8 hour instead of 4 hour. So it's just crazy how like it literally doubles the risk reward. But then yeah, so we held through all this, and then I remember I said that if it goes to like our target right now in the morning, I'll sell third because it's like a very quick move and they can just fade all day. But then out of nowhere, see here at 10:50, 10:24, they released a PR, and I'm literally like, because you know every time it releases PR, you know it's gonna now be sold in the news. So kind of like, I mean, particularly for me, it got like my mind just got messed up. I was like, what do I do? So I sold fourth and then I short another four, so to be like out half. And then I really thought it's gonna go to like 23 and then dump, but then it didn't. And then I think we moved the risk to 21.5 here.
Especially with those PRs, I think a good
Yeah.
rule of thumb is keeping the risk tighter because they can have a lot harsher pulls. When like the minute they put that PR out, it was very choppy, but like I did not know what to expect. But I had pretty similar executions to Alex, just different. We had the same average buy and sell, but just kind of different locations. But
Yeah, this
ended
my
up holding
third
both of them.
sell. The third sell was kind of like a impulsive because it still was above my risk, but then this year. So and then after we sold, we're like, well, we perfectly executed because you shouldn't expect any other move in this market with this PR. And like, you know, because it already like did a nice move from 18 to like 22. But then this like literally held all day and we were feeling pretty bad because we thought it's gonna go because it looked quite primed to like go again to like 24. But then I mean it still can because it just held you up all
Yeah,
day.
it's still holding too.
It still can, so yeah, but again, I don't really care. I just took my almost 4 hour trade and that's all I need for just the single. So
especially this market too.
yeah,
Right.
This
Yeah.
market, I mean, if it's going to really continue over high day or like have a second green day, I just feel like that's so much rare now. And
Yeah.
I'm happy with, I'm still, establishing risk levels to where I can keep some on if it really has a second leg, but if we can take 3 to 4R on,
Consistently, yeah.
consistently, it's just been the bread and butter recently. So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's funny because what we used to think was like a black swan is like the term that Tim Sykes uses and like something that we would never see. That's like a freaking like digging for a diamond now, and like because like finding that in a hot market like a black swan, and now that'd be like literally like finding a diamond. Like it's just crazy how
Yeah.
times
So yeah, as soon as we found this, like I would say like silver, we just took it. Like it was enough. So
Yeah. This could
Yeah.
have another leg up though, similar to ABML. The way it just
Yeah, I
keeps
mean,
having more and more leg
that would be
ups.
good if it like
Yeah.
goes the
But the thing
Range
is,
might
it just
might break
throws
out
off your
soon, too.
size.
huh?
The range
ABML might break out soon too.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah. When I
A
was
lot of
talking
these
about
yearly charts are very, I don't know, they're all over the place because the big OTC bull run back. in
yeah, they're literally
2021.
all
And then we keep
Actually-
trading the same charts too, like ABML,
yeah. It's so funny.
ILUS,
Yeah, it's literally like the same-
AABB. It's the same few tickers, just
Oh, baby.
they keep going.
I forgot to
Alex
say.
loves
Wait.
ABB.
I was actually watching it for the thing, but it didn't happen. So this one we're watching with for the breakout. You're just mentioning here, because like even though it's like it doesn't look that big, but if you get like a 2% risk, it goes to 10-10, that's 5R, and it goes to 10-15, that's 7R. So like you can just find like this big trades from not
Mhm.
great looking charts just by like having those very tight risks.
Even if
So
the breakout has no continuation over 110, you're still
Yeah.
making very good odds,
Exactly.
So yeah.
so yeah, that was all my trades. As I said, only 3 for the month, for the first one week of the month, the first week of the month. So yeah, I'm pretty satisfied. And yeah, so my goal for the next week, on Monday, I'm just coming to the Monday with the mindset that I have 0. I'm up 0 on the month, and this cushion is only good for me because I'll feel more like comfortable to really
Holding
focus
your
on
risk.
the chart. Yeah. And like don't think about minus. So it's not like I have cushion now I can take a bad trades and I'm like, oh, even if I lose, I have like not. It just I can be like even more focused on the chart and just don't care about money at all, like 0%. So
Definitely. Love that. Awesome. Great analysis, guys. Love it. So next in our sequence, Jay has got a little bit of a presentation to go over.
I just threw together something just so I wouldn't ramble as much when kind of talking about my journey. Just a kind of a brief overview of my trading journey, as it says here. So as of February 6th, I believe is the date. So yeah, at Jaybird0505 on Twitter, I'm going to try to start posting more on there at least every month, no matter how good or bad obviously transparency is key. So, okay. So there's Tim.
Nice.
Farmer.
So introduction to trading. So basically, what got me into trading, similar to a lot of people that got their eyes on trading, COVID, the market crashed that summer of, 2020. I got Robinhood, bought like United Airlines or something, thought I was a genius, blah, blah, blah. Then obviously the YouTube ads started trickling in from all the gurus. We got Tim Sykes, obviously, Ross Cameron, everyone. So just started getting interested, started watching, and early September 2020 is when I really, I started waking up pretty much every morning and, trading with very small size on Robinhood at first, like just chasing these momentum plays with really small size, thankfully. So it wasn't, it was good experience, but really nothing incredibly productive or noteworthy. So yeah, this is the P&L chart with, this is with commissions included, as I'll get to, but it's that I blocked out the rest of it because this is kind of the introduction, not much up, not much down. So yeah. Oh yeah, so quote, LOL, great first trade on Thinkorswim. This was a quote from one of my trading recaps. As you can see, it was the first time I traded with Thinkorswim, and the LOL was very sarcastic because I was chasing some Ross Cameron pump at the market, absolutely dumped on me. So
that is very like him.
Yeah, just looking for that curl, as he says. Okay. So hitting the ground running. I'd classify the stage, November 2020 through February 2021. Basically all OTC trades. I started, I was doing the majority of my studying on Tim Sykes YouTube videos, and Tim Sykes is obviously a very good foundation, but a lot of his stuff is, tailored toward beginner traders, and I learned a lot, most of my stuff through his students. So Twist, This Week in Steady Trade, obviously, shout out to those guys, Matt, Jack, Kyle, everyone, phenomenal for my learning, because they would go over their trades like of the week and really good analysis there. So all OTC trades, pretty much all panic dip buys. So this was during, if you look at pretty much every OTC chart, basically all went parabolic, as you guys probably know, in winter 2021. And panic dip buys, very simple. They're all so clean back then. You're basically taking advantage of, the market inefficiencies, a lot of stop losses, a lot of whatever. Wait for the level 2 turn and buy here. So here are a few examples from TraderView.
All of these.
This is 100% bounce,
exactly.
Just casual 100% bounce here. I took like part of it.
Wait, was it the ABB? That was ABB.
This was HQDE.
Are you sure about it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't include the name, but
no, they all look the same.
They all did that. So that was very good experience. I never really got to trade the breakouts because I wasn't really familiar. I didn't really know what I was doing in terms of front side trading, but I did know how to read level 2 and make a quick flip there. Very nice, very low risk trades, although I did take a couple decent sized losses on those panic dip buys, but they're very rare. So yeah, as you can see, this is the next part of the chart. Really saw some nice growth, and this is even with commissions. So I started with 2,000, basically around 2,000 in my account, and pretty much doubled it. Just doing panic dip buys, super simple. This is the euphoria stage that basically everyone talks about, like Mark Douglas. You get this early success, you feel untouchable. Although I did feel like I had a good mindset when it came to risk, when it came to the money. But yeah, that was definitely hitting the ground running for sure. So
yeah, not only that, but Thinkorswim commissions, which is far more. I used to trade with them too.
Yeah, so I'll do a quick rant about that at the end, but commissions are brutal. So and yeah, so painful lessons. This was March 2021 to July 2021. The bull run kind of came to an end, and there were no more clean dip buys. I'm sure there were plenty of backside moves, first screen days that I could have taken advantage of, but obviously I didn't really have that experience. I was forcing setups, just a ton of crap that I was trading, dip buys just weren't working. And I was using the same, dollar size on these random setups, and it just bled me out. As you can see, this is a epic trade here, just an example. It's probably my second biggest loss ever. Usually I'll be buying down there, but just not clean action. Frustration, despair, doubt, just a really tough period for me, especially with commissions, like I said, just an absolute just destruction of all my profits.
This is literally like the market, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, quote, so annoying. I don't know how to trade anymore. Everything just fades from March 24th. And then trash emotional trade. Maybe you aren't Kyle for this. This was down here. This was, the lowest, basically at my lowest point here. And, I tried having a good mindset. I really did. I think the majority of the time I did. But when you bleed, this much cash, it's tough. It's really difficult. But I included this little picture. Stuff like this really got me inspired. Jack Kellogg, people like Jack Kellogg, their stories of hustling, selling pillows and stuff. Like I had it really good. I could sit, just the opportunity to trade, you have to keep it in perspective. So very fortunate for that, and I try to keep that in mind as I went through this tough period. But
should have invested in you, Jay, at the bottom.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. It wasn't very bullish down there though. So following that tough period, growth. August 2021 to present day, February 2022, I got my head screwed on straight. I got humbled a lot. Started studying harder, finally started realizing that I can't just buy panics. From August, September to now, I've been trading first screen day reversals and breakouts, still all OTCs. Even with the markets not being like hot, I think I've still been able to capitalize on what we've been given here, maximizing the opportunities. Even if there hasn't been a lot of breakouts, there hasn't been a lot of second green days, but if you can hit those key entries, like I think I've been doing, there's still plenty of reward out there. Learning, building with other traders. So throughout basically this whole time, I never really had a community. I never paid for a chat room or any service. I really only just talk to traders on Twitter sometimes. And Varun got me involved with a chat room of a lot of very successful OTC traders, and one of those that I met being Alex. And it's been really nice to get to know him, and all you guys helped me immensely. He's helped me especially think in terms of risk reward. I've always
Mr. Risk Reward.
Yeah. I've always heard that term, thrown around you win more than you lose, but really I never had a risk reward calculator. I only thought of gains in terms of percentages, and especially with these OTCs, just sick risk reward opportunities that I'm really starting to actually realize. I'm not taking huge moves on these charts. Everyone's complaining about how slow the market is. I feel really fantastic. I feel like I'm really hitting my stride, and we all just can't wait for more opportunities.
If you focus on risk rewards, you don't need big move to make a lot of R's. So yeah.
That's right.
And these two charts here are just kind of examples of what I've been trading recently. IQST down here is, it's kind of a breakout and, first green day kind of combined. This is a nice big picture chart here. ABML kind of similar. They don't look like huge moves on the chart, but very good risk reward on those. Just trying to, these plays have okay liquidity, nothing compared to, the bull run, but especially with smaller size, I'm able to take advantage and not worry a ton about slippage, even though it's still a possibility. So,
And I have a comment here. You know, like some people say, like, why focus on OTCs if you like size up, you won't be able to trade.
mm,
So I think, in my opinion, whatever we make now, we can make easily 20 times that, because our size is still very, very small compared to the even this liquid volume. So, I mean, if like 20 times what we make right now, it's pretty, I'm pretty good with that one, you know. Once I'm able to do that, then I will
Yeah, it's a
go
good
try
problem
other
to have.
things. Yeah. So it's not like if we like go 3 times the size, we won't be able to trade. Like it will be like too liquid. So still, and when they're hot, then you can literally like go 10 times your, like 100 times your size.
yeah.
I
Exactly.
mean, even then, people still overreact about that, because when it comes down to it, you can just, you can, spam 10,000 share increments on a buy or a sell basis. You don't have to put it all into one freaking
Yeah,
order and
exactly.
then
Yeah.
get yourself scared of, not filling and stuff. You can just put a bunch of bullets in, and then it's like the exact same thing. So people overreact about that too much. I agree.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about, one day I'll be adding a 0 or 2 onto that P&L, and I'm not really thinking in terms of that, but
Right.
but it's all about the process right now. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, biggest takeaways. Commission, yeah. Basically from when I started trading until
Oh my
December
gosh.
2021, I used Thinkorswim with my, roughly like $2,000 account, and they were $6.95 per execution. And, I tried to use big size relative to my account to compensate for this, but if I'm taking $1,000 position size, I make 10%, it's $100. But if I have 3-4 executions, then poof, that's
Yeah, he was also adding and scaling
both of your
in.
profits.
That's something I've never did it with commissions. Like adding and like selling into the pieces with commissions, that's pain.
Yeah, and I tried not to scale out as much. I did a pretty good job with that. I don't have like the average executions per trade, but I would say it's probably 3, buy, sell or something. But yeah, so this
Oh my
hurts to look
gosh.
at, but this is
Oh
side
my
by side,
goodness.
without commissions versus with commissions, and this doesn't even account for being able to like scale. Like
Wait,
if
where's the drop after March? There's none on
yeah,
the.
I only had without commissions, I had one
Crazy.
red month and it was like $28.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
This
It's
chart right here, it looks like so beautiful. It's
yeah.
uptrend.
And if I didn't, I keep saying if I didn't have commissions, blah blah blah, but I could have, who knows, maybe it would have come with more growing pains. I could have blown up, who knows. But with that being said, as much as it hurts to look at, the difference is insane. I have to be grateful, for the opportunity to sit on my ass and trade. Like,
Of course.
you have to keep everything in perspective. If I probably should be paying commissions because it's an incredible opportunity that you should have to pay for. And not just, I think the access to this technology is, I should definitely be grateful for it. But yeah, I switched to Fidelity in December 2021. I could have switched. I think I heard about Schwab being commission free earlier in the fall, but I was like, I don't know. I'm used to Thinkorswim, but I think that's just laziness and not realizing the magnitude of how much commissions actually destroyed me. But yeah, Fidelity has been nice, a little learning curve, but it's been fine. So thank you, Alex, for yelling at me to switch. Really appreciate it. So yeah, just being grateful, it's the biggest thing, being grateful to be in this position and trade. Consistency, having a routine in the morning, being process oriented, figuring out what works for you, figuring out, how you're going to trade effectively, figuring out how, the days that you're not, you have to, especially when I was newer during this downtrend here, a lot of times I was not in a good mindset. I trying to trade in, while I was traveling, like visiting my buddies at school. Like I remember that was one of my low points. I was like, all right, I'm gonna set my alarm and wake up, while I was like partying the night before, woke up and took 2 losses on terrible setups. Like that's just the kind of things that just kills your morale. So you have to limit those. Yeah, focus on the chart and risk reward. Kind of goes without saying. But not percent gains, not your P&L. I've always hit my P&L. I feel like I've always done a pretty good job with that. And focusing on the chart and risk reward. I think a lot of with these plays that I've been trading, a lot of these OTCs, as long as they have range, as long as the chart has range, I think there's opportunity there. Obviously, there's a lot more factors that go into it. Finding out what patterns work, in the current market, figuring out what kind of volume you're looking for, what kind of, et cetera. But yeah, the chart and risk reward is key. And risk has always been the foundation of my trading, should be the foundation of everyone's trading. You cannot open yourself up to big losses. Don't average down on MMNFF like I did. You can't. You have to think about risk first, and I'm pretty sure everyone watching this knows that. That's the foundation of everyone's trading.
Was that the same day that Kyle took his 90K loss on that MMNFF?
And Jack like 300,000.
And Jack, dang.
Yeah, it was tough. It was my first time averaging down. I don't have the chart on here. I probably should have included that, but it was, it was painful. It was my first time averaging down too. It just happened so quickly and poof.
Because it was like in the prime moment of panic advice.
Yeah, of course.
And I think, but during that week, I think that was during February, and that week I nailed some other plays and I kind of forgot about it. But yeah. So just to touch on the risk reward, as you can see down here from TraderView, this is from December 1st until now. The old me would have been, really frustrated at the winning percentage here, but this is definitely the best risk reward that I've ever had, just for an extended period of time. And even in this market where we're not getting a ton of follow through, I feel like still very possible to get 4 or 5 hour trades, even without a ton of continuation. So that's something that I've been proud of, and hopefully we can get more winners in there too, but definitely solid. So those are a lot of takeaways there. So yeah, that concludes the presentation.
Great.
Awesome, man. Love it. Fantastic presentation, outlining your journey. Absolutely amazing. And a lot to learn for everybody who sees it. So.
And I just want to note about the risk reward again. I know that there's like some, numbers that say like if you have 1 to 2 and you have a winner of like 50%, you're profitable. So if you have 3 to 1 and 40%, you're profitable. But you have 4 to 1, so that's even better. And mine is only 1 to 3 right now. And then I always think like, and that's right now when we have less winners. But then imagine when we have more winners than losses, then it's just gonna go exponential. So
yeah, for sure.
Especially because like Jay has a lot of patience. That's why he's able to get the 4 to 1 risk reward. And he'll even say in the chat like, sold a third or sold a quarter or something like that. And he just all shocked us that he's still in the play, because I would have thought he sold a while ago.
Yeah, and touching on that, it's just like, obviously it's easy to just say like, oh, in this market, I don't want to hold longer, but that's too like generic of a statement in my opinion. It's like, it depends on the chart, depends on the pattern. I love scaling out because, if you sell some before the next resistance, then if there's like a psychological level that people are going to chase and all the variables. So that, and it, once you see the same reversals play out over and over again, where it seems like there's endless bids on a trend break, then, I'm comfortable, I don't think that I'm up 3 or 4 hour. I'm just looking at the chart, but also it is important to pay attention to your arm. So yeah.
Definitely.
Love that. Great job.
So now we can go to the questions I have.
Yeah, let's get into some Q&A.
Okay, so the first question I have is like the most like general question. So day trading is very lucrative job from the outside. Everyone only sees the success and the lifestyle all these millionaires have. But inside of every one of those millionaires, there were like 1 or 2 things that got them started, except all of the money. So, and it still makes them keep going every day, no matter what. So my question for you is, what is your why? Why did you start trading, and what makes you driven every day to keep moving no matter what?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So
Definitely.
I guess throughout my life, like for the past, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years, I've always been kind of stressed out about the future and haven't really found something that I'm truly passionate about. And as I kind of explained in my PowerPoint, I didn't really intend to just start trading. I just kind of slowly like trickled into my life and slowly became, a desire for me to master this game. Like we talk about all the time, it's like a video game that everyone wants to master. And the just the ability to be compensated based on how good you are, like I always talk about, you're compensated in this game based on how good you are at the game. You don't have to wait for a raise by your boss and whatever, like you're your own boss. So my why is just wanting to master this game and just being grateful for the freedoms that this can offer, for obviously like traveling and everything, and the community. I'm very grateful for the people that, like you guys, that I've gotten to know, motivating one another, and that's definitely a big part of my why. So yeah.
Love that. And so many people underestimate the importance of a community, because if I didn't have one, I definitely would have quit trading for sure.
Yeah,
I can definitely say that
Yeah, because like we push each other to be better.
for sure.
And it's also discouraging when you go through the downtimes, because you think you're the only one
Yeah,
going
but
through
then
it.
you see like everyone goes through the same periods.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have learned half the stuff that I've learned without you guys either. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I definitely agree.
So the next question is, I know you're a very competitive person. That's almost, I think everyone in trading is a competitive person. So have you ever compared yourself with other traders, like other big traders maybe on Twitter? Like you saw someone post like 10K a day, and then you're like, this guy made so much, so maybe no, maybe you're like, this guy made 10K, so I must make 20K. Have you ever said something like that?
Yeah, I mean, when you describe it like that, it seems like that's like a negative connotation, and I think I'll catch myself doing that like very rarely, and I think that's more of a reflection of my mood on the day or the week where I'm feeling
Mhm.
spiteful like that. But I pay attention to if people that are transparent on Twitter. Sometimes you can't trust everything you see, but if people post their executions, I'll think they're like, okay, I wonder why they did this and that. And sometimes I'm like, okay, maybe I think I wouldn't have done that. Maybe I traded this a little better. But usually when people post their gains like that, it's more, it's just inspiring, but we always talk about, when as we get bigger sized, you just basically add a zero onto your P&L. And obviously I'm not thinking about that as I'm in a trade, just thinking about the chart. So I'd say I do a pretty good job of not being, like toxic like that. But yeah, in terms of competitiveness with other people, I'd say that's not really part of the game for me. Like I talk about, like it's about you versus you, or you versus the market, but in reality it's you versus, you have to perfect yourself and you have to compete against yourself. And that's how you're gonna win at this game. So
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
definitely.
So the next one is, I have a chart. I wanna share it right now. I have
All right.
one. Okay, so here's the picture.
Yeah.
And I think
Oh, wait, hold up, let me
for me, I also had this initial win, and you also had it, like the euphoria, and then this like drop. This was like up during the March. So where do you think you are in this kind of like trading journey?
yeah, and it just sucks because I talk about commissions, and that's definitely what my chart looked like with commissions, but without them, it wouldn't look like this. But I think mentally, it definitely looks like this too. But right now, I'd say I'm definitely in this optimization
Yeah.
slash maturity stage. And like I said, I feel really good about where I'm at as a trader, and even in this market, I'm feeling good about just where my head's at, where the patterns that I'm trading, the mindset that I'm in, and that has all come from, like, this chart has shown,
Yeah,
like
this chart is literally like your chart.
yeah,
You have the same chart with the same this.
yeah. The maturity and success, obviously, as this chart shows, it comes from dealing with the loss, the
Yeah.
real journey, the summer months where I was
Yeah.
basically
Same.
cursing myself out in my trading journal. That was hard, but
I see.
you're only going to get to the success going through the hard stuff. Taking big losses, taking slippage, this and that. Trading, adding when I shouldn't have added, getting emotional, all the stuff that everyone talks about, just comes with growth. It's not a straight line. So
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Love it. I got a question next, Alex, if you don't have another one
Yeah.
yet. So I know, Jay, that you said that you never really signed up for any like paid subscriptions or any of that. And you said you started off by relying on, Tim's YouTube videos and stuff. But if there was one thing given the knowledge you know now, that you could tell yourself on like your first week or first month of learning trading, what would that be?
wow.
Like one thing that you just would tell yourself if you knew what you knew now, tell yourself right in the beginning.
Other than buy GameStop at $16.
I was literally about to make
Nah.
I was about to make that joke. No, I was that's hilarious. Man. Switch to Schwab.
Oh,
No, that's actually
seriously.
good. That's actually
Probably
good.
that. But I think, as much as I want to have a good answer to that, besides Schwab and besides GameStop, I think the things that I know now come from not knowing them before.
Yeah, you
Making
can't just like
mistakes.
tell you that. Yeah.
Right.
course.
There's no real shortcut to that, in my opinion. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Because I know there's a lot of different answers to that question. Obviously, Tim will tell you cut losses quickly right from the very beginning, but that could mean a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And everyone has a different answer. And like you said, you've got to build. You got to put those bricks in the wall before you have a wall, before you know that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, because obviously there's endless things that I wish I knew when, OTCs were running like crazy. I wish I knew how to trade the front side. I wish I knew how to record, all this stuff, but it's just.
Yeah, but it comes only from the experience.
Right.
Like
Definitely.
all those like Jack, Kyle, Matt, all them, they profited because they didn't profit in the previous.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's important. No matter how much, no matter how much of a sponge you are in the beginning, and no matter how much information you soak up in the shortest amount of time, experience is the best teacher, and time is the only way that you're going to learn all this stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Sure. Yeah, good question.
And I have a question as well for you, Jay. So you imagine you cross $1 million. What's the first thing you do to celebrate? Or how would you celebrate, actually?
Yeah.
Frisbee
Hopefully.
golf competition.
Yeah. I just don't know what my life would look like then.
Yeah.
But hopefully I'm with, my friends or family, someone that I can go out to dinner with or go out with.
Or the meatball
Probably.
pizza. Or was it the one that Brittany had?
Mellow mushroom. He went out for a freaking
mushroom.
something at mellow mushroom.
Yeah. Maybe binge on something, spoil myself a little bit, but I don't know. I probably do a lot of reflecting. Yeah, definitely more. I don't know. I'm not going to go out and splurge a ton, but treat myself a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah, because
makes
after
sense.
taxes, it's not $1 million anymore.
It's a good answer.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then after taxes, 700,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, crazy.
So, Alex, I know you have a couple more questions.
Not the other ones, they're like kind of off topic. I know you have one, but like you can go.
Okay. So Jay, I know that you said that your parents barely, know what your trading, entails and what your journey means. But what do your parents actually think that you do all day? Because my mom thinks I'm a salesman for investment strategies. So I'm interested for what your parents, think you do all day besides, just like look at stuff on a screen. That's what people say. So what do they think?
Yeah, I try to keep them in the loop, but I understand it's just like anyone who's not in the trading niche, they're only gonna, they're gonna have stereotypes. They're gonna have preconceived ideas of what you're doing. But yeah, my parents sometimes they ask about my portfolio when I'm flipping IQST or HMDL. They're not in my portfolio, but they've always been very supportive, obviously. Very grateful for that. I tried to explain, especially when I was, trading at home back when OTCs were super hot. It was very easy to explain. You see all those red candles. I get, I showed my
I
parents.
literally did the same thing with my dad. I
Yeah,
showed like
money
the chart
tanks.
of the panic. I'm like, oh, I see a ball here. It's on here.
Yeah. So this is the level 2. They're like asking all these questions.
And I see the bidders come in, and then I buy.
Yeah. Look at this
Seems
bottom.
easy enough, right?
But yeah.
Oh, times have changed.
Yeah. My training's obviously gotten more complex than just panic dip buys since then.
Alex's too, yeah, definitely.
Haven't really explained the patterns necessarily, but I think they have a good idea. I might have to ask them a few questions to test their knowledge.
Yeah, ask him what float is.
Yeah.
Float.
I actually
Oh, is that
remember
when you go lay on your back in the water and you stay above the surface?
Buoyancy.
I tried explaining my dad the concept of R. I was like, because obviously they don't know about like a risk. I'm like, so I'm risking this amount, and then I want to make like X times that amount.
Yeah,
So it's like the same thing. If you just look like 10 times the size, you're gonna have bigger win. And then I tried to explain like with the bigger stocks why I don't trade with them, because you have to use more size. But like obviously they like didn't really
Yeah.
understand. But like the overall picture, probably they like got a little bit really like related.
I explained that too. I explained R too. So
Yeah, definitely. It's a very interesting conversation to have, and that's why it's so important to talk with other traders, because like you said, Jay, you're truly just like thankful to have a community of people that you can just bounce ideas off of, and have people actually understand you, instead of being alone and thinking that you're by yourself and you're like nobody understands me, because that's definitely a thing that I'm sure everybody has went through before they found a community. So
Mhm.
but yeah, I guess with that, unless you had a response, Jay.
No, yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
Gotcha. And I guess I'll follow into another question kind of like that. What is the thing that annoys you most when you talk to a non-trader? And for me, it's easily you say anything with the word stock market in it, or trading in it, and the first thing that they'll say is, so do you make a lot of money? That's what annoys me the most. I know that you have a few things that annoy you. What are those? What are the most annoying things?
Yeah, that's definitely one. Like, how much did you make today, or stuff like that. So about the P&L. They, I heard your comments about how risky it is and how it's gambling and you can take big losses. Like, yeah, I'm aware of that. I've done this for, 1.5 years or whatever. Like, I'm well aware. I define my risk, but I'm not going to go into that with someone. Definitely that.
How about the hindsight?
Oh yeah.
That's the worst thing.
So why didn't you enter here?
Yeah.
Did you
the
buy it?
hindsight kings.
Did you
Sell
sell
at the top, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Those are
like
all
the worst.
Yeah,
There's
that's funny.
endless ones. But I always thought about, like, as much as it's annoying, part of us kind of likes, like, oh, like they don't really know what we do. Like,
Right.
we're really about this life,
Work in
Yep.
silence.
Work in silence, keep everybody else guessing. Yep.
Yeah.
Read your mind, Alex. And I've actually had this conversation with somebody. Like my uncle, one of my uncles is very, very successful in real estate. He flips houses. He's super, super good at it. And I told him what I do. He goes, I said, yeah, I work in the stock market. I trade stocks. He goes, so you gamble? I was like, no, there's risk management and there's a bunch of other things. He goes, I tried doing that and I lost a bunch of money. I was like, well, probably you didn't have a strategy. You didn't manage risk. He goes, you're gambling, right? I'm like, no. He goes, you'll never get anywhere doing that.
Show me your Excel spreadsheets and say it's not gambling.
Yeah.
And I was just standing there like, I'll show you. And, maybe someday he'll be asking me for, some income that I can use to get some interest on and work with him through that. So he'll be like, oh, how'd you do it? And I'll be like,
Gambling.
Advantage gambling, calculated risk.
Like Josh said, professional risk manager
Yeah.
when you go for a job application.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, there's always that external kind of stuff.
So I have an off-topic question.
All right.
Do you have any other hobby other than, I mean, whenever you have time? Because I know you also go to college, so like in between.
No, I just sit here all day, stare at paint drying all day. I love staring at liquid tickers the most. No,
Like NWBO.
yeah, CBDL. Waiting for the first.
CBD.
Yeah, I love playing disc golf. I've been getting really into that. It's basically ball golf, but with like frisbees or discs, and chains. But I've been getting really into that. Good way to stay active. Always been into fitness. I went through a huge powerlifting phase. Did a meet last year. Still kind of train the big three: squat, bench, deadlift. It's all part of like the morning routine. You know, I like hitting the gym before trading. Usually like 4 out of the 5 trading days. Wake up, try to eat as much as I can. You know, it's hard to eat in the mornings, but hit the gym, come back, and usually sometimes it helps me speed up my workouts, knowing that I have to be at my desk. You know, I have to leave the gym by 9 to get back in time to shower and everything. Whereas if I hit the gym in the afternoon or something, I could just be messing around or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, actually.
Yeah, that's important. Being disciplined and well-rounded in your lifestyle, and structuring things in certain ways in order to maximize your time. I love it.
Actually, a follow-up question. I know Lance, when he works out, he listens to music, but then when he drives, he listens to a podcast. I do completely different. When I work out, I listen to the different podcasts or even watch like training videos. Yeah, but then when I drive, I listen to the music. So what are you doing?
Definitely not what you're doing. I could not. My workouts are not that relaxed. I'm sure you work very hard, but I need to get pumped up.
Same. I could never listen to a trading podcast while I'm working out.
Yeah, I listen
to traders. Like, no thanks, man. Not while working out.
No, the podcast I listen is the Andy Frizzell, and after every second word he says fuck, so it's like very pumped music, pumped podcast. So
okay, then yeah, that's different.
He screams, he screams. So
like David Goggins or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, especially if I'm lifting like heavy weights,
well,
I'm not gonna want to listen to blah 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 blah. I want to hear some crazy rock music or hard style or something. Yeah, I need to get fired up. But yeah, good question. Yeah,
I remember I was watching webinars during working out.
What?
Yeah, I mean, because the way I work out, I don't need to like go anywhere, and I'm just doing it at home, and
okay,
I just put my phone there or like whatever, and I just listen to.
That reminds me, because Jack Kellogg, what I was talking about, how he listened to video lessons or whatever when he was on the valet job, and I used to work as a valet, but I would listen to his lessons.
Full circle.
Yeah, and Tim's stuff, of course, but yeah. So.
But yeah, and Alex, to reference what you said, I haven't been as good lately about listening to podcasts when I'm driving. I don't drive a lot, and I don't really want to listen to a podcast while I'm on my motorcycle because I have to focus a little bit more. So, but yeah, when I can, I do. So, yeah, got a lot of podcasts in my playlist. So, all right, guys. So I think that about wraps it up. Does anyone have any last thoughts or any last questions for Jay?
No, we pretty much covered it all.
Think we're good. Ready to sum it up?
Well, actually, I can say thank you for coming, and that I finally saw all your journey, because I've been talking with you for like 4 months, but I didn't really know about. I didn't really know about the whole journey in the beginning, so it is very good to see. And that we literally had the first euphoria and then the done. So yeah, it was nice to see.
Yeah, and this is my first time probably explaining it all in one piece, because I don't know.
Now you will have a video where you can look back.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. Really appreciate it. I love what you guys are doing with this. It reminds me of Twist a lot of the times. Alex has a really soothing voice.
I'm Kyle. I'll say I'm Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle. Yeah, thank you guys. It was fun to talk through everything, like I said, and appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Jay, thank you so much for coming on this episode with us. It means a lot to us. Definitely, we learned a ton. It was great to finally meet you face to face and learn about your journey. It was absolutely awesome. So thanks for taking your time to come on here with us. And we'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you like what we're doing to see the next episode. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.